This is McCook's Mr. Bill, so honored to have you here. We're going to talk about Beecher's Island today. I said Beecher's Island. It was a battle in the area. Now I know Massacre Canyon battle is the one that is quite prominent for this area. 1,500 Sioux attacked 800 men, women, and children of the Pawnee tribe and tried to wipe them out. That is the most known one for this area. But Beecher's Island is just as powerful in what went on, and a lot longer battle, to say the least. It was set up by General Sheridan. He was the commander of this area, and he was being pushed awfully hard to do something. In 1868, 79 pioneers, settlers, and ranch hands were killed by Sioux and Cheyenne dog soldiers coming in and fighting them. They had to do something. He, however, did not have enough troops to fight the Sioux and the Cheyenne straight on, because Roman Nose, which was the top chief at the time, Roman Nose, he could field almost 2,000 braves. General Sheridan didn't have that kind of numbers. But what he did want to do is harass them as much as he could, and so he asked for volunteers from mountain men, old buffalo hunters, including also some just good hardened plains hunters. Absolutely. 50 men showed up. Almost all of them had the lever action Spencer rifle, a 50 caliber 7-shot Spencer rifle. That rifle is nothing short of amazing, and it can start shooting easily at 500 yards, and it can put out an awful lot of firepower. And 50 men with those rifles mean they can shoot 350 rounds at the enemies before they have to reload. You bet. The 50 men left Fort Wallace. They went up the Arickaree, which pours into the Republican River, and they went up there on September the 16th. They camped along the banks of the Arickaree, and there was an island in the middle of the river there. They had been spotted. There was no question that the Indians knew they were there. And the next morning they could hear hooves coming at them from miles and miles away. When you got 1,000 head of horses coming at you, you know it. And so they took their own horses, knew this was going to be the fight of their life, and they shot their own horses. And they dug rifle pits behind those horses on that island, thinking that would be the best defense. They dug in, and the Indians did not disappoint them. They came by waves. The first wave charge came in, and they waited after they fired their first round, and then they charged because they thought they were fighting an army with single-shot rifles. But the rifles kept firing and cutting down. Brave after brave fell off their horses from a distance that was way out there. With that in mind, the first wave failed. Roman Nose up on the bluff, he knew he had to do something to save the day. He also believed that no white man bullet could kill him. He thought he was sacred. And so he led the next charge. Unfortunately, bullets don't care who you are. If they can come your direction, they will kill you if they can. And he was killed in that charge on that day. As they got down, the first waves that hit killed. The first man there that was killed on the white man's side was a Lieutenant Beecher. And so in honor of that, they named the island and the battle after him. Wave after wave came the first day, and into the evening and into the night. They knew they were in more trouble than they could imagine, so they sent 2 runners out to get help. By the end of the next day, they realized they probably didn't make it, so they sent 2 more runners out. Unbeknownst to them, the first runners did survive, though, and did get back to Fort Wallace, as the other two showed up as well. And they got as many troops as they possibly could and headed out to try to save those people. It took them another couple days to get there, but they did get there. Even the Indians started digging pits and trying to fight the way the white man was fighting on the other side. What was the true downside and the insanity is they'd killed their horses, and by the second day, the stink of those dead horses was just about to drive them out of the island. It was so horrendous, not counting the dead horses all around and the dead bodies of the Indians. You bet. All over the place. And of course they had 10 dead of their own. So that 50 men killed hundreds and hundreds of Indians. At the same time, they only lost 10 men. That's a pretty good indication of just how powerful technology and a weapon with multi-firing capabilities is and was. The Indians learned that lesson well, though. I said they learned it well, because the Native Americans did their very best from then on to get lever-action rifles, multi-firing rifles. And in the Battle of the Little Bighorn, when Custer came with single-shot 45-70s, he faced an awful lot of lever-action rifles that slaughtered his men just as easily as the Indians were slaughtered at Beecher's Island. This is McCook's Mr. Bill. Rate this film.